Хочу представить вам следующего докладчика. Это Иван Белый из компании Marmalade. Лично моя компания использует Marmalade. Это одна из тех немногих сторонних технологий, которые мы используем, поэтому я вам рекомендую попробовать, если вы еще не пробовали. Доклад Ивана будет на английском языке, и он будет посвящен портированию игр с помощью Marmalade SDK на примере игры Quake II. Давайте поприветствуем.
Right. So let's start. I wanted to make my presentation in Russian initially, but I had few requests from my friends that asked me to do that. But my slides are in Russian. It will be all clear. So let's start. As our moderator told, I work in Marmalade company. We do a Marmalade SDK, and the idea of Marmalade SDK is to make games, make C++ code to work on all over mobile platforms, smart TVs, desktops, all over the platforms we support. And the short story of Marmalade SDK is like that. So we are 15 years old company. We headquartered in London. We started as a studio. We developed games. We were contractors of big companies like Electronic Arts. This is a Metal Gear Solid. We developed lots of games like Lara Croft, like Backbreaker, if you know the game, a casual American football game. And we ported some games to cross-platform, initially developed for, let's say, iOS, and then we ported them to Android, to Symbian, Windows Mobile. It started with old platforms like Brew, if you ever heard about that platform, Brew. Does anyone know this platform? Okay, no one knows. We worked with Windows Mobile 3.5 for Windows Mobile 6, then Windows Mobile disappeared, and there was Windows Phone 7, which didn't support native code, and now there is Windows Phone 8 that does support native code. You can see our brief history in these slides. Very well-known project, Godus project, from 22 cans. It is deployed to 4 platforms, I think: iOS, Android, and desktops, Mac and Windows. It started from a curiosity project where you have to click cubes to find out what's inside the cube. So we developed our internal tool to make our developers' life easier. And 5 years ago, we made it publicly available, and it showed a good progress, really good. It profited even more than our studio projects. So what's Marmalade SDK? This is a powerful cross-platform tool set. We want to stress the attention that if your code is standard, if you use OpenGLES, even on Windows, where historically only DirectX is supported, if you intend to use standard libraries, POSIX compliant, then you're good to go with Marmalade. Please be sure that it's flexible, it's powerful, it's very, it's all about the performance. We want to make life easier for different groups of developers, providing possibility to develop in Lua, in C++, or make hybrid apps with HTML5 and native site for business logic or for graphics. So our technology allows us to deploy to huge variety of platforms, including Windows, iOS, Android, who doesn't support them, Tizen, smart TVs, and all this stuff. Okay, let's move to masterclass. So I took Quake II sources from GitHub. They are available on under GPL license. It's no problem to get them. Mr. Carmack, god of 3D shooters, Shiva, I would say, 3D shooters, he put that with ID software to GitHub, and it's publicly available. So I prepared a few steps to show how it works. DevGAMM. So Quake II master sources, you can download them. They have several versions. The latest version is 3.18, but there are two repositories with Quake sources. On the second one, the latest version is 3.21, I think. They say that you can compile it with Visual Studio 6. And it's completely in C. It's very old game. It includes some assembler code, and it's intended to run on VC6, but I make it more modern. Right. So I unpacked it to this folder. One note: they just allow you to download sources, so they don't provide you with graphical assets like you know, pack0 pack files, all the levels, AI, all the monsters, textures. They don't provide that, but there are a few projects over the internet where you can find these assets. I'm not talking about torrents. I'm not talking about any pirate base sites. QuakeForge or other project where you can find these sources with sounds, textures, levels, designed levels. So I took them and not in this folder, but next folder. I took them and will use for my presentation. So step 2. We know what to do with sources. Let's go to step 2. First of all, we need to create our project. It's all about text, project description. We use our internal build system. It's called MKB. So you create a project file. I don't have enough time to type all these file names. I just show you. So no, not in here. What? Where's my MKB? Not in here. All right. So here's my MKB open in Visual Studio. I put include path for every single folder where we can the sources are stored. I subproject graphics. I subproject touch because we know that Quake was intended to run on PCs, and we need to run it on iPad. I defined some internal defines. These are Quake defines. I haven't invented my own defines. These are Quake defines. And edit options for CPU, FPU, and deployment options. So I have to put a section of assets where I add textures and all that stuff, and files. Just list all the files from Quake sources. You see folder name, group name, and just C and files and headers. Right, and option output name would be Quake II. Then, how it works. When you create the MKB file, you then right-click on it and make Marmalade to start your preferred IDE. If you work on Windows, it would be Visual Studio Express, which is free, or Visual Studio Professional, which you have to pay for. If you work on Mac, you use Xcode for development, or you can use any other tool if you configure it for yourself, because we have a command line build system as construct that is used for internal builds. So we have lots of Python files that organize our build system. We bundle GCC compiler within Marmalade SDK, so you just have it all in one. You run your IDE, it's configured, your project is created, it's configured, you just build and it works. If you want to create any other system that will use our MKB system, it's up to you. You can do that. We have lots of projects that are on top of Marmalade, that toolset that use MKB system. So after you create the MKB, you can run it in simulator, in desktop simulator, or QEMU emulator, ARM emulator on desktop, or you can attach loader and to run it on the device. That's what our toolchain is about. Right, then, oh, too far, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so what we need to do next. So we created our project, listed our files, added deployment options, defines, include path. What we need to do next. We need to initialize our Marmalade system. So we need to initialize graphics, and we need to replace the base platform for the game with our Marmalade platform. If we talk about this particular Quake game, they have a null folder with stubs for system files. So we took these files and moved them to S3 folder. That's the place where just store my updated file. So I created an S3 folder, moved these C and C++ files, added touch interface, GL headers, because Quake was initially developed for OpenGL. I added some GL headers, which you can get from your GL drivers. And I had to update my MKB to exclude these files from build, so I commented them. Here you can see commented, then again commented. I removed, to make it simple, I removed from the project software rendering, and yeah, I just commented those files. They are not needed because I replaced them with hardware supported GL, and I removed captured the flag part just to preserve time. Okay. Then what I need to do next? I need to make these initializations. Right. So how Quake works? It has entry point, like every C++ app. It has an entry point where you enter, do some initializations. Then I updated their console output to my traces to see what happens, what's happening inside. Then I updated the allocation system, just a few lines. And I added handling for keys, because I want to run it on my simulator, and then I want to run it on devices. So I have to handle these keys S3 by myself. If you see, S3 is a prefix of our technology. So S3 functions are our SDK functions. And I register his main. I register keyboard. I initialize a double GL, which is our wrapper over GL. I don't change GL functions inside Quake sources. I leave them untouched. I just want my IWGL work with. I want Quake to work with my IWGL. I need touch and run Quake init, which is Quake II function. And I organize game loop until we get a quit request from the device. I calculate delta and call S3 device yield function to let operational system work to make it run. Then after game is finished, I do Quake shutdown and terminate the GL. Quite simple. Okay, let's go next. Application is like a layered cake. So we have an application code which we want to leave untouched. We have a common API which this application is based on. We have the platform implementation of the common API, which depends on the platform we develop for. So if we run, let's say, S3 accelerometer, we have to implement accelerometer for Android separately, for iOS separately. That's our part of the job. And behind that, there is an operation system which actually handles it. So we try to get between common API. We try to replace common API with our own common API. And if we talk about Quake, it doesn't know anything about Marmalade. It's old, very old game, which is just based on standard functions. So we have to replace standard functions. And it looks for a GL. It invokes GL functions, so we have to replace GL with all those functions, GL progress and etc. So then I have to build it. Right. So I have to build Quake, solve some errors. Yeah, that's ideal world where you press build and you don't have any error. I understand that you might be expecting, but it's an old game, so I have to like resolve some problems. Maybe I make a mistake in my include pass. I build it. I see that it's failed. I have to cope with it and resolve all problems. Then I tried to run it on the simulator, Windows simulator. So, oh no, this is GCC ARM build. No, please. Sorry, we have to wait a little bit. To close. Right. So I select target x86 debug and run it. Run my simulator. There is expect it to be okay, but there can be a problem with resolution. You see. Cool. So that's a loading screen of simulator, or I see some sort of IWSR in GL. Continue, please. Okay, and yeah, some works. It works from my laptop. I think I need to solve problem with the orientation, because I see it's vertical, it's not landscape. That's a part of initialization, so I'll do that a bit later. But I see debug more, it works, it already works on Marmalade. It's not a clean Quake build. I used the sources to run it on Marmalade. Okay. All right, so then I think I'm ready to prepare it. So we need to prepare the build. As I told, we combine everything, all Quake sources. We combine our headers. We combine our touch interface into one single binary and deploy it to platform. We add a loader to the binary, and we want to deploy it to iPhone. So for that, I use Marmalade Hub. It's built because I did build in Visual Studio, so I can package it. I get a package. I make my Marmalade Hub package my Quake game. Then right, warning, no iOS launch image. Okay, skip it. No provision profile. Okay, skip it. It takes a while to build to package it because of huge resources files. Around 180 megabytes of resource file have to be packed and signed. So what we do, we prepare a package for iOS for iPad on Windows PC, and we're going to sign it, and we're going to upload it to the iPad. If you want, you can check. I'm not cheating. There is no Quake game pre-installed here. These Marmalade apps are our examples, but no Quake game. Okay, success. Very good. Then I prefer to use iPhone configuration utility for Windows to deploy my applications. Okay, I see iPad 3. And I want to add my package. I need to find it. Right. Build, deployments, default, iPhone. Was it? Yeah, it's debug build. Okay, so debug build. Okay, I see iOS application, Quake II iOS application, and I have to somehow get it to iPhone configuration too. please. Just a minute. Oh. Pretty hard. Sorry about that. Okay, no configuration utility. I'll get package and install. Right. So I have to wait. What's good about iPhone configuration utility? I can pre-install my application. I put it into application list. Then I push install button. It installs onto my iPad. I can get a console logs from the device, and actually I can control everything. I can install provisioning profiles and all this stuff. Well, quite powerful tool. Because of resolution, unfortunately, I cannot do that right now from iPhone configuration utility, but we have a possibility to run it through iTunes, which will help us to install Quake. And while it's installing, I can do that. I can show you that actually the same steps can be done for Android. I have Android device, this Motorola with Intel inside, running x86. And I pre-installed on Android because it takes 2.5 minutes to just upload through the USB to Android. Okay. Guys, I'm sorry, this resolution makes me a little bit nuts. Okay. iPad, applications, Quake II. Oh, I have it in my, I have two versions because previously I was testing it on iTunes and now I get the second one. Install. It doesn't have any icon or images, any resources. I just want to make it run. The quicker, the better. Right, so if you can see, first rows might see. So here's my application just uploaded, and I run it on iPad from Windows, and yeah. Okay, so I see sound working, video graphics working. That problem with orientation, I have to resolve it. Missed something in, but that's just about the landscape or portrait mode. So you see Quake running on iPad, and the same. I changed nothing. I've just deployed it to Android device, which is small, which is phone, and I see Quake running on Android as well. Yeah. Okay. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you for your attention. I wish I could have more time. We have lots of partners. We're happy to work with you too. Thank you.